everyone, welcome to Let's Talk Motorsport. We're back for another pod. We're actually here with a special guest. It's the man himself from Odin Motorsport Australia, Mr. Ross Forbes. Welcome, mate. Welcome to the podcast. How you been?
Hey Daniel, mate, I've been going really well, and I appreciate you connecting this afternoon. And yeah, what an honour to get to chat to you this afternoon.
It's always great to catch up, mate. We haven't seen each other since a couple months ago in Sydney in August, so it's great to touch base once again. But, mate, you've had a pretty decent 2025 season. You've raced in Formula RX8. You've had your dip in Mustang Cup with their new car. How's your year been from your perspective?
Mate, that's a really good question, Daniel, and I'm going to break that up a little bit. I've had a brilliant year, really. To be honest with you, I've had a brand new car built, as everybody knows, with a lot of support from businesses around Australia. I'd really like to, while we're having a chat today, have a shout out to some of these people that have really jumped on board and given Odin Motorsport a hand. Glory Jeans have been amazing. Paul and Karen Hollings from Queen Bian and Tuggeranong, their support has been relentless. Without them, I wouldn't be able to do this. So they've been fantastic, and being on board for 25 really helped. Anne from Rapid First Aid, Anne has been really good as well. She's a very good medical lady. Roll Cages, they've been fantastic. Their support, they built the roll cage for my car and did a really good job on that. Everyone Motorsport Army, Lisa and Rowan, they've been very supportive, and they're on board as well. They continue to be on board. It's been a great year with those guys. Magnetic Race Numbers, young Troy, he's done a great job. The Glory Jeans car, all the graphics was done by Troy. So Troy works with us, and he's a really good guy. So a big shout out to him. And Kaz from Raceline Raceway, she's been really good as well. She's a lovely lady, and Kaz supplies all our uniforms and race suits. My cousin Brad from the toy shop, he's been fantastic. He supports Odin Motorsport as a family business. And Dina Jensen from JKD, who tested with us early this year and did some crewing as well. Fantastic guys, and hope to work with them next year as well. So, mate, the year has been good. We started off at Bathurst. We ended up at Phillip Island. Mid-year, I could see I was up in the points and was hoping to at least achieve a top 10. And to better that, I actually got fourth outright in the National Series, and I won the Rotary Masters Championship. So that was pretty cool.
That's pretty wild, mate. I'm sure at Bathurst you didn't think you would end up that with the end of the year, so that's pretty special. You've had so many highlights this year, obviously, as you just recently mentioned, but what is probably your most highlighted moment of the year?
Mate, I've had so many good moments during the year. It's been fantastic. Probably the highlight for me this year was getting to race so many circuits around Australia. Sandown was unbelievable, as it was going to Phillip Island. You know, I rate Phillip Island very high. My two favourite circuits in Australia are Bathurst and Phillip Island. You can't beat them. So the last round at Phillip Island was phenomenal. That's where we wrapped up the series. I found out that I'd won the Rotary Masters Championship, and I came fourth outright. Totally unexpected, but I worked hard during the year, and consistency is the key. I had a great year. I had no DNFs. I worked hard, stayed on the track, stayed up in the field, and ended up with a result like that. So I'm very happy with the way 25's ended up.
Yeah, no, excellent job, mate. Yeah, as you mentioned, consistency is really important. We actually saw that with Kai Allen for the Repco Supercars Championship. You know, he didn't win a race all year, but he managed to finish fourth in the championship. Yes, the finals helped with that, but it just shows you don't have to win a race as long as you're consistently up there. And that's exactly what you did this year, mate. So well done. You also went to Bathurst multiple times this year too, didn't you? You did the Challenge Bathurst, is that right?
Yeah, so I've been to Bathurst twice this year, and pretty amazing. We started the year off at Bathurst, and brand new car, so I was shaking it down and just getting to learn the car, and the car was getting to learn me, my driving style. So I had a great start to the year at Bathurst, and that went really well. But lucky enough for me, I was able to return in November to do Challenge Bathurst, which is an amazing event. We did Challenge Bathurst. I bettered my personal best by 13 seconds around there, which is a great effort. And I will be doing it again next year. It really is an amazing event. Not part of the championship, but it was just an extra thing that we did, and it's good practice to get some Ks under my belt around Bathurst.
Yeah, absolutely. Was it as daunting going around again once it, compared to the beginning of the year, uh, or were you like comfortable with it?
Yeah, no, I was comfortable, and I actually felt better because I've got a really good race mechanic, Steve McLean Automotive, and Steve McLean Motorsport. Steve does a great job prepping this car, and I said to Steve before we went, mate, I really want to make an impression around Bathurst this time. So let's do everything we have to do to make this car the best we can possibly get it. And much to Steve's credit, as he always does, he did a really nice job on the car, and it felt so different around Bathurst this time. So I was pretty pleased with the result, and it sort of puts me in a good stance for next year because I feel obviously going back to Bathurst, I feel a lot more confident. I've done a lot of Ks around Bathurst, but it's different when you're driving different vehicles, and the RX8 is a different beast to drive, an amazing car though.
I absolutely love watching it. Early, actually, beginning of this year, watching you guys battle around on the mountain. That was really surreal. I wish I was racing, but it is what it is. How speaking of racing, how did it feel reaching that 500 race milestone and to celebrate in style with that weekend you had at Sandown?
Mate, it was fantastic. I've done 42 years in motorsport, so you can imagine how many race starts I've done, or 500, as you said, in a lot of categories, in HQs, sports sedans, you name it, I've done it. So to actually finally make it to 500 race starts in 42 years was really special. It was great to do it at Sandown because Sandown is, as everybody knows, is a very iconic circuit. And to get my 500 race there was really good. I was really happy about that. And I had a good weekend celebrating that. Plus, I won the Rotary Masters Pro Am trophy at that event, which is really special. So no, it was good. I really enjoyed it, and getting 500 starts after 42 years is something to really absorb and think, wow, I've done a fair bit in motorsport.
Yeah, that's it. You've done quite a fair bit, as you said. Not many people do get to be fortunate enough to do that, so you're definitely quite lucky. But out of those 500 races, is there one that stands out most to you?
Mate, look, to be honest with you, I drove a couple of races on the Gold Coast when they used to have the Indy cars there, and they had some support races there. So I drove in those support races. That was memorable just because the amount of people that were there at that event. And I can never forget hearing the crowd at that event. But probably even more memorable was that was 1993 at Oran Park. Oran Park in the Australian Touring Car Series used to get amazing crowds. I got a couple of good photos, and they used to get 70 odd thousand people up on the hill. It was just an amazing thing seeing all those people and everybody cheering. And back then, HQs were really big. Not saying they aren't now, they're still fantastic today. But back then is when they first started. I started at grassroots in that series, and to come onto the main straight, seeing the crowd on the hill, that's something I'll never forget.
Oran Park is such a special circuit, and I am disappointed that it's not around anymore. But I have cut a few laps on iRacing, and just the granulation like, of the hills and stuff. It's just such a sensational circuit.
Yeah, that and Amaru Park. I must say, when I started in 1982, my father and I used to go to Amaru every second Friday virtually to do practice. And I used to race sports sedans and HQs around Amaru. So Oran Park and Amaru have a special place in my heart. Oran Park, it's both circuits are closed now, but Oran Park was fantastic because they had the Grand Prix circuit, the longer circuit, and it was really nice. So it's a shame to close, but that's just the way of life.
Yeah, that's it. That's the shame with it. It's fun while it lasts. But you always look back. You always have video footage, and like I said, simulators. You can always relive it in a way. So now let's move to the future of Ross Forbes and Odin Motorsport Australia. Starting off with the most recent test day you had with the new Mustang Cup series. How was that?
That was fantastic. I was very fortunate to be on the selection list to drive the new Mustang Cup car in a test day. The Sydney Motorsport Park, Liam Kirkpatrick, who's the category manager for Mustang Cup Australia, invited myself and Steve Debjack, and we went down there and had a fantastic day. The car itself is next level. The reason I say that is because I've driven Carrera Cup cars before, and I put this on the same level as a Carrera Cup car, a factory-built race car by Ford America, left-hand drive, six-speed Tremec gearbox, rev matching. You can dial the ABS in, and the car was just phenomenal. We had a great day, a very hot day. It was 43 degrees ambient temperature, and it was over 50 degrees in the cabin. But in saying that, Steve and I had a great day. I heard from Liam Kirkpatrick recently, and we've been accepted to drive in Mustang Cup Australia next year. So looking forward to actually having a dabble on that. A very special category. And the reason I say that is because it's a good stepping stone coming out of, you might have come from Excels, and then you might have gone to T86, then you might have gone to RX8s, and then a good stepping stone is to go to Mustang Cup, because from there you can go to, say, Super 2s, and then work your way up the ladder. So for newcomers in motorsport, I think Mustang Cup is a really welcome category in Australia, and with Liam in charge, I really think it's going to be highly successful. And we had a good chat with some of the Ford technicians down there on the day, and also Michelin technicians. And what I've learned so far is just, wow, what a category to be involved with. And I look forward to being in amongst it next year, and actually giving one of these Mustang Cup cars a bit of a drive on some of the most iconic circuits in Australia, including Darwin. So that's on the agenda for next year. So I look forward to that, and Phillip Island at the start of the year. So that's just one of my plans for next year. But there's more for next year for me. So I'm also going to hop back in the RX8, the Gloria Jeans RX8. And I'll be out in the circuit there with that as well. And we're looking at the possibility of doing some historic touring car racing. Now, my family is involved. My cousin is deeply involved. There's a couple of pathways for me. So next year will be a busy year.
Yeah, I bet. I can't wait to watch you further on your career next year. I think you got something with Odin Motorsport Australia, and I can't wait to watch it grow for sure. But yeah, Mustang Cup though especially is going to be really interesting to see next year. I think they've done a sensational job putting that together. I can't wait to watch that. I think it's amazing to, especially this day and age, to have someone like Ford backing the youngsters and people moving through the grassroots to eventually supercars. It's similar to what Toyota is doing with GR Cup. So it's amazing to watch.
Mate, absolutely. And I don't think a lot of people realise to what extent Mustang Cup is going to be in Australia. So the backing and support from Ford America and Ford Australia is phenomenal. They basically, Mustang Cup will have their own transporter that follows the series around the country. So we've got all our own spare parts, engines, gearboxes, panels. Got our own backing from Ford America when it comes to technical, anything to do with data management systems. It's all handled by Ford Australia and Ford America. Basically, the series is very well supported. Andrew Madiki from Port Macquarie is the importer of the vehicles, and Andrew also will be in charge of all the spare parts. He's a fantastic guy, Andrew. I had a really good chat with him at Sydney Motorsport Park, and he's encouraging a lot of people, especially some of the younger guys, to get into it. And also some of the more mature guys like myself, they've got a championship to run in. So there's basically 4 championships in Mustang Cup, and it sort of caters for everybody. So the experienced guys, the new grassroots guys that are just coming through, it's a really good category to be involved. And when I first learned about it, I thought, gee, I must have a look at that and get my teeth into it. And as we mentioned earlier, lucky enough to actually get a steer of this amazing car. We do have some good footage of it on my Odin Motorsport Facebook page. It's got some in-car, and you can actually watch it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually getting out there next year and spending a bit of time with these guys.
Yeah, was the car what you expected in terms of handling and just everything in general as a driver?
Look, probably the thing that was a bit different was that the car is on full slicks. We don't normally run full slicks in RX8 racing. We run an R-Spec tyre. So being back on full slicks, I'm used to that from many years ago in sports sedans. That was a welcome change because the grip level is phenomenal on full slicks. You can really hurl the thing into corners. And the amount of torque this car had, so it was over 500 horsepower, beautiful gearbox, Tremec 6-speed gearbox. It's got a rev matching feature, so if you don't want to heel and toe, I like to heel and toe because I do it in the RX8. but it's got a matching feature, which makes it easier to drive. And the car itself was just amazing. It was well balanced. Suspension did what it should do around some of the tightest corners around Sydney Motorsport Park. And the thing was fast. Like I wasn't even trying the other day, and you can knock out 220 Ks in fifth gear, without even struggling. So I could just imagine when we get out there next year in race format, these things will be a rocket. And, for me, I'd like to get some more laps in it when I do. I'm sure I'll work out some of the tricks in that car, but it's way different to an RX8. And I just really look forward to getting out there next year and having a real go.
Yeah, no, looking forward to watching you as well as the category itself. Well, these cars do sound amazing as well. I did watch a bit of your onboard footage as well, and mate, what an experience.
Yeah, it certainly was. I know young Steve Jack, he got out with the biggest smile on his face. Him and I couldn't believe it. Funny enough, he drove before I did. I hopped on after him, and we got out of the car, absolutely all smiles, and just talking to each other about how good it actually was, and just different techniques that him and I use around Sydney Motorsport Park. And you're dead right, Daniel. The sound is next level. They run a Coyote engine, which is it's a race version, and with twin throttle bodies, and the amount of torque this thing got was phenomenal. You could basically fighting it all the way around just because of the amount of horsepower it's got. But yeah, I can see some real good racing next year, and I really look forward to seeing some of these young guys jumping in, having a go, and proving how good they are so they can eventually move up to the main game supercars.
Yeah, now it'll be really interesting to see because, of course, the winner of the Cup Series next year will be awarded with a Triple Eight test drive with their supercar Mustang, which is really surreal.
Yeah, and I think that is a key element of Mustang Cup racing because they're not mucking around with getting this series supported and underway. And as a prize at the end of the year, as you said, Triple Eight are offering a driver their Gen 3 car, supercar, which is an amazing thing because whoever wins the main game championship in Mustang Cup actually gets to do that. So I really do think, and I believe that if you're going up from, as I said, T86s or RX8s into that category, wow! Once you get through that, I think the world is open to you as a race car driver. And the test day actually proved how good it is because we had some pretty good steerers there from different categories, Formula Ford, production cars, and every single one got out and just said, "Wow, that was something else." That car.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't wait. But you already mentioned what you're going to do next year, but just to finish up this interview, is there a certain event or a track that you're yet to visit that you're looking forward to taking part in next year?
Absolutely. It's funny you should say it because I've never been to Hidden Valley in the Northern Territory, so Darwin. So that is really high on my priority. I'll be definitely doing that. One of the very few tracks I haven't actually driven at. So I look forward to getting up there and jumping in on the Hidden Valley. And just Bathurst again will be good because we'll be going to Bathurst if I do the touring car racing, which is looking ever so likely. They will be on the supercar support category for the Bathurst 1000 next year. So to pump a supercar around there next year will be amazing, and I look forward to doing that. But yeah, I think Darwin will be good. It'll probably be fairly hot because we all know Darwin, even in winter, is normally about 34 degrees and about 99% humidity. But that's part of the parcel. It can't be any hotter than what I was at Sydney Motorsport Park the other day. I must have drank about 10 litres of water when I got out because I was so dehydrated. But yeah, great day.
No, we definitely reached summer, haven't we? I hate to think what Darwin is now, actually. Come to think of it.
Darwin's close to in the 40s. I think it's the humidity that kills you. Like when you're wearing a race suit, as everybody knows, you get out and you basically dehydrate. And, I was well prepared for Sydney Motorsport Park the other day. I hydrated myself. I had plenty of rest. We knew it was going to be a hot day. We had plenty of advance warning. So I sort of conditioned myself before I got in the car and was ready to really get into it, which I did the other day and got out. Even though I was a bit dehydrated, I felt quite good.
No, fantastic, mate. But thanks for joining me for a chat. It's great to always catch up every now and again, mate. See what you and your team are doing. I think you've got an amazing team ahead of you, fantastic group of people, and I can't wait to see what you do next year, and all the best.
Mate, thanks, Daniel, for catching up, mate. I really appreciate that. And yes, I have had a great year, great team of people around me, and we'll see what 26 brings. But I'm looking forward to getting back out there. First race meeting for me looks like it will be the end of February, so at Phillip Island. So it looks like that's where I'll start the year, and then we'll go from there. I'll keep in touch.
No, amazing, mate. Do you want to just give the viewers your links or handles to your social media so they can find and follow you?
Yep, absolutely. So on Facebook, there, if you just go direct to Odin Motorsport Australia on Facebook and also on Instagram, you'll find us there. We always post interesting stuff. So when we're racing, we post results. In between events, we just post things that are happening within the team. So what I'm up to, and also most events we offer anybody that wants to come and sit in one of our race cars, have a chat about it. We also always offer that. If you've never sat in a race car before, there's a great opportunity for us. You can come and shake hands and meet myself and just get involved. So Odin Motorsport Australia on Facebook and Instagram, you'll find us. Send us a message, join in, follow us, and we look forward to a great 26.
Awesome, mate. Now have a happy new year, and we'll see you next year.
All right, mate. Thank you.